Now we are going to take 5 minutes in English.
In English.
Yes. And yesterday I said it was a test. This time I'll say it's for real. Okay. So let's do 5 minutes. How is your guys' English?
I'm working every day in English, so I'm getting better.
Nice.
It's not that good, but
All right.
and she's getting better also. She's getting better also.
Ruth, how is your English?
Ay. O sea, yo entiendo bastante, pero me cuesta hablar
Okay,
todavía.
you understand a lot,
Sí, sí,
but
sí, sí.
it is hard to talk, to speak. Okay, that's all right. You can understand and respond in Spanish, and we will translate.
¿Ok?
Okay, so let's see here. First off, this is Santiago and Ruth, and you guys are, where are you guys from?
I'm from Mexico.
I'm from Ecuador.
Very good. And what year did you guys graduate from here?
I graduated on the 2019. Yeah.
All right,
Both.
in 2019. And let's see, in 5 minutes, what would be the most interesting part, you think? What would be the most interesting part of their story to talk about?
So different part, it's the most important part for me in this testimony. It's about the different decision they made and different step in the time life. So about your time study, and you jump for the wedding, and then move in different cities. You said we spent 1 year in different places, so 1 year. So the thing is the way they decide to move and follow to Jesus in different places is it's amazing.
Okay, so share quickly, Ruth, what made you decide to come here to study?
¿Cómo?
¿Qué te influenció?
Para venir acá.
Ajá.
Ok. Bueno, fue a través de mi tía. Ella estudió aquí hace muchos años y ella me habló del seminario y bueno, dijo que como venían pasando muchas cosas en mi vida, dijo, bueno, Ruth, ya es tiempo de que hagas un alto, ¿no? Y busques a Dios y veas qué es lo que quiere Él con tu vida. Y dijo,
Okay.
¿por qué no pruebas el seminario?
Okay, so your aunt said, Ruth, it's time for you to take the next step. And she had studied here years before. She said, why don't you look into studying at Rio Grande Bible College or Seminario Bíblico Rio Grande?
That's right.
And what's your aunt's name?
Victoria Hernández.
All right, and she studied here in the Bible program. Wow. Okay, so she was the one that challenged you to, and you had shared with me you wanted to be in the medical field, maybe a doctor, a nurse, something like that. But the Lord was closing those doors, and you're trying to figure out what to do with your life, and you decided to, just take a step of faith. Did you call or email? How did you contact the school?
Por email.
Okay. And just said, hey, I want to come study here.
Y Admisiones me mandó toda la información por correo y todo el contacto fue a través de correo.
Okay. So all the contact, the communication was through email, and they sent you all the information for applying and coming. And you said it was quick. It was from September you applied, and then in January you were here. All right. And then Santiago, maybe you can share with us. You wanted to study, to be in the ministry. That was something in your life from the beginning.
That's right, yeah.
But then you were sharing about your time here. And when you first saw Ruth, and then that's something that changed your life. What was, I guess, it was which year were you in? Whenever she came.
I was on the third.
They're already in your third year.
2018, yeah.
Okay.
Starting my third year, yeah.
And okay, what was the hardest part about that relationship or beginning that relationship?
The hardest part, well, trying to see God's will for her on leaving the seminary because she was studying here.
Right.
So we had to really see that God was calling her to marry me through giving peace to the family because they wanted her to keep studying. She came here to do that. So if she was going to marry me, then everyone had to be with peace about it and support that. So that was the hardest part, and also for her because it was for her also a decision to make. It was a challenge for her because she was thinking on her studies. She was thinking on the call, God's call for her. So if now it is this guy that just started talking with me, and he has something in mind, and he wants to marry me, what I'm going to do with that?
She had to decide between you or finishing her 4-year of
right.
studies. How did you explain that to her, or what kind of conversation did you have with her about that?
A lot of conversations, a lot of things. I of course want to make her feel safe that I was going to follow God's will, because that's the key. If it's something that is coming from my heart, if it's something that I'm planning, it's not going to work. It's not going to. We're not going to have success on that. But if something that's something that God's doing, that changes everything. So I wanted to communicate that to her, but also wanted her to see that, and that's something that she will. So at the beginning, just long story short, at the beginning I started trying to convince her, but then it came a time when I stopped doing that. And I said, well, I'm trying to do something that I cannot do. So if I just start praying and wait, this is something that God has to do. And following what we learned in the Theology 3 class, President always said, whatever you have in your mind, in your heart, put it on the altar, give it to God, and let Him give it back to you. If it's from Him. So we both did that.
Did you do that together, or just on your
Separate.
own?
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked, but then she went to pray here around the seminary. She went out there. I did that on another place. She put me on the altar. I put her on the altar, and we waited.
You shared that your parents were some of the most. Your fathers who led you to Christ, and your parents are who you trusted in for counsel and mentoring a lot, growing up, and even in this process.
Of course, definitely.
I wanted to ask Ruth, who did you talk with besides your family? Did you have anyone here at the school that you trusted to talk with this about, or who did you seek counsel from for deciding what to do?
Al conocerlo,
Para saber la decisión.
¿Con quién buscaste consejo? Quizás, bueno, no sé si solo fue tus papás o tu familia, o también si alguien de aquí en quien confías para hablar sobre la decisión.
bueno, siempre estuvo Odette en todo ese camino. Sí, ella siempre estuvo ahí apoyándome en oración. También estuvo Jada Jiménez.
Oh, okay.
Ella también fue parte de una de mis mentoras, sí.
Okay, so Odette was always there for you. She was there for prayer and for counsel. And then also Jada Jiménez, someone that you trusted and talked with during this time. Okay. Okay. And for Santiago, like, did you have a plan B? If she said, no, I need to stay, I like you, but I need to finish my 4 years.
I was thinking on a lot of things. I was thinking maybe she will be able to keep studying and me working here or something. I was thinking on that too, or maybe me just going out there and do the ministry or whatever God wants me to do, and she will stay here waiting. But I knew that in my human part, the human part, it was like, I'm not going to survive out there without you. I'm not going to survive. So that's what I thought. If I had to go out there, I don't know what's going to happen. We could wait. We could if it's what God wants us to do. If He wants us to wait, it's right. It will happen, and we will wait. But we don't know what we will never know what could have happened. You know. But yeah.
But making sure you during the process, you are making sure you're trusting the Lord to do His work. If it was His will, it would come about.
Definitely, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now, real quick, what ministry are you in? Are you guys in right now? And so you've been married for 3 years now.
That's correct. Yeah.
3 years. And what is the Lord doing in your lives right now?
We are serving on the Ministry Bible Broadcasting Network. It's a huge ministry. We have stations, English stations here. We have Spanish stations back in South America. We even have, I didn't mention this before, but we have ministries in, our radio is in Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Portuguese. So we have all these nations there in the headquarters here at North Carolina.
Okay.
So we're working together and to spread the gospel through the radio in these languages also.
Wow.
So
And that's what you're part of.
yeah,
And share with me again, what part of the radio, what work do you do in the radio?
I'm the station operation manager for some of our stations here in the United States. I work on some technical aspects. I'm not an expert on that. I'm not an engineer, but I help just making sure that the station is on air, and also reaching the listeners. Our listeners call us sometimes for counseling or praying. We reach them, calling them, or we also visit them. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I guess maybe final question. What's one way the Lord used your time in the Bible college here in getting you ready for the rest of your life and work? What's one thing that God did in your lives that He taught you, or something that He showed you that helped you to be ready to continue serving Him?
Can we both out there?
Yeah, both of you. Yeah, that question is for both of you.
Sí, sí, lo que te
Sí, ¿qué cosa uso?
Una cosa que te enseñó el Señor aquí para el resto de...
Bueno, simplemente a morir a mí misma. A mí.
Just simply die to yourself.
Sí, sí, sí. Y simplemente escucarlo a Él y seguirlo.
To listen to Him and continue. Give one example of dying to yourself.
Quería estudiar medicina.
Ah.
No quería hacer misiones, pero el Señor me mostró, cambié mi corazón.
So you wanted to study medicine. You didn't want to be a missionary, but the Lord changed your heart. Okay.
In my case, humility or humbleness. I don't know.
Yeah.
Being humble. Yeah. Yeah. One example of that is, I'm not so proud of sharing that, but I was, how do you say, fired? Not fired, but
Let go.
from the music group.
From
the-
like the Echoes or
the
something?
Echoes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not because of them, because of me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and God used that for working in my heart. To know how to work on teams as a team, because I was so into me that I needed to see for others, and to know how to work with people. So God used that to humble me. That was one of the examples of all the things that He used to break me and also to teach me humility.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you guys. Hey, you guys have a little baby now.
Yeah.
How old and what's his name?
She's Cassia, and she
¿Cómo es?
has
Gracia?
Cassia.
Cassia.
Elizabeth.
Cassia Elizabeth,
She's 1 year old.
1 year old. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you
That
so
is
much.
special.
Yeah, it's special. And now she's here and she can know. Well, I'm not sure if she's going to remember all this, but at least we can tell her you were where we met. Your story began here.
Bible college will teach you one level of humility and service. Marriage will teach you another level, and then having kids teaches you another level. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, Billy Jackson here. This is our podcast, Entre Hermanos, and that means between brothers. We want the brothers and sisters of Christ hearing the stories of what God is doing to prepare future pastors and missionaries for His church. That's what we're trying to do. So if you enjoy the stories, share this podcast with others and have so that they can hear what God is doing around the world. And we hope that to grow and get better in telling these stories, and we hope that you will be able to enjoy them and praise the Lord for what He is doing.